The lying leg raise is a great exercise to strengthen the hip flexors and prep the lower back for more advanced movements such as hanging leg raises and other core training drills, especially in a suspended environment. So we're gonna start flat back on the floor, drive your arms underground hard for stability, and progress from bent knee to straight-legged. The straight-legged option will increase the hamstring stretch. So if you're not ready for that, go bent-legged, but you have a light medicine ball and it's getting kind of easy, that's when you want to straighten those legs to increase the challenge. And I like this straight-legged the best. The butterfly position will stretch the groin and also engage the hips and glutes more to give you more stability and strength in your lower back. That's why I like to start in this shape for the crunch and the sit-up. Begin with the crunch, driving the weight overhead, just focusing on trunk flexion only to isolate the abdominals. Then bring in the sit-up component, reaching overhead to stretch the lats and kind of reaching forward to touch the toes at the top and really control the eccentric portion for about 2 to 3 seconds to really get the burn and protect that low back. But start with the crunch before the sit-up. The reverse crunch is all about isolating the lower abdominals via posterior pelvic tilt. Glass of water on the belly. Focus on pouring that water towards your chest face area and really hold that for a count or two at the top. Arms at the side is harder. You really have to have a lot of strength to push down and hold that position. That's why I like arms overhead or holding onto a really heavy pair of dumbbells that's equal to as close to your body weight as possible for more leverage and strength. Start really light and focus on form and range of motion. If it's too tough, go back to just a lying leg raise. The overhead sit-up is done with the legs straight, and it's all about driving the weight overhead and then taking about 3 to 5 seconds to lower and control. I like to use an ab mat for many of these drills, including the sit-up, to kind of give some protection to the low back, especially in a hard floor, but also to kind of extend the range of motion at the bottom to create more extension and more stretch on that interior core. So start light, drive the weight overhead, spread those legs wide for stability and support, and kind of drive the feet underground to really engage the glutes and hams. The lower body twist will stretch and strengthen your obliques. Start with the legs bent at 90 degrees. Squeeze a light medicine ball to help engage the pelvic floor. It also will kind of minimize the range of motion a bit because of the ball making it so you don't go too far as you would with the legs together and no ball. So again, start light. I really recommend the ball. Progress, so straighten the legs to increase the mobility demands and the lever, which makes it feel much harder with the same weight. And just really go slow, focus on range of motion, but start bent. The sit-up to three-way slam adds some power and multi-directional rotational movement into the equation. Use the same form cues as the overhead sit-up, but now we're just adding a slam to each side into the middle. Really use the lats to pull down hard, but don't forget about controlling that eccentric portion to prevent stress on that low back. Have some fun, start slower, and then once you kind of get the groove, start to build up the speed over the course of the set for a beautiful metabolic touch. Torch up those abs in a real way and slam it out. Where the lower body twist trains rotation through the hips, the upper body twist trains rotation through the trunk. Now, the more you recline, the more challenging it is to isometrically stabilize and hold that shape for the anterior core. I recommend about a 30 to 45 degree lean. Keep your legs bent at 90 degrees and pull those toes to the shin to work those ankles a bit, and just work on slowly twisting as far as you can from side to side, driving the motion through more of the upper back or thoracic spine. And then if you've really fatigued, just lean up a little bit more so you're not reclined as much. This 1-1-2 complex is a Dynamax original, especially designed for the padded nature of that ball. You can really knee strike, going 1, then 2 after doing each side. On the 1s, really drive the down leg hard into the floor for stability. On the 2, focus on flattening that lower back and really controlling down. The key focus here is you have to get simultaneous touching of ball to knee. So you got to time that nicely, start slow and build up speed over the course of the set. If the 2-leg option is too tough, just go alternating leg. After the 8 great ground-based core exercises, now we get up on our feet and we add some power, some rotation, and we fire up those fat burners with some Tabata 2010 HIIT finishers. You'll start with the slam, really focus on keeping the shoulders higher than the hips and getting that ball all the way back behind the head to extend the range of motion. We add in some halos eventually too for more shoulder mobility. Then we move into some chops. The chops are really about dropping the hips, keeping the shoulders higher than the hips, pivoting the feet, rotating the hips. We're going from high to low on this, and in both directions. For most of these med ball drills, it's a good goal to get 10 reps every 20 seconds. If you're getting way more than that, the weight is probably too light. If you're getting way less than that, it's probably too heavy, so modify as needed.